guys. Good morning. Good morning, my dears. And the stream is working this morning. Wow, this is great. This is fantastic. And good morning, with this cup of silver tea, which is just warm water with lemon. Tastes really good. Hello, Aaron. Hello, Janet. Another nice day. Woke up and looked at ourselves in the mirror, accepted fully what we have today, or saying we're working on it. Okay, so today we are the good morning, Thea. The theme for the whole week is a crucial one, because we're talking about life, and we're talking about a metaphor for life, which is running. You know, running is a part of human being because it's movement, and we express ourselves very, very good through movement. And while we're expressing ourselves through movement, it also helps us to sustain our life quality. That's a crucial one. Okay, so today it's connecting the dots with Sakharoff number 125, running as a metaphor for life, improving efficiency through shifting attention and defocusing. Why it's crucial? Well, because, you know, I'm working very much with professional people. You know, in my programs, very often people are, you know, they kind of understand the concept of connecting the dots. It's not that it's a complicated matter, but it's a kind of a next level. So very often people are professionals, people are managers, working very often with different kinds of project management throughout their life, and that's also people that are used to control and exerting control. It's something they find natural, and it's a great thing, but it's also a killer. It's also a killer. Long-term exerting control on everything on your life, trying to control your body, trying to control your breathing, trying to control everything around you, it exhausts a person, and can happen that it basically shifts to an illness instead of health, and that could be a problem. So what do we do about that? Well, that's exactly why I established this program, because we need to work long term. So what do we do? What we need to do is to shift attention and defocus, and that's we often talk about the paradigm shift from target-oriented work to process-oriented work, right? That's very, very often we talk about this, and that's exactly the same thing we're talking about today, but in connection with running. For some reason, we learned that we cannot afford to be distracted from some urgent task, and that's when we are working task-oriented, goal-oriented, target-oriented. We grab the current task and we hold it until our fingers begin to bleed somehow, you know. So And that's because we think it's a powerful way of doing things in order to move forward and stay kind of being functional related to the task. But to stay functional related in relation to the task, we need to switch to something else. We need to shift the attention. So in running, it's a great metaphor. In running, we have a concept of cadence. And cadence, this is like, that's basically the pacing. How do we pace our body movement? The cadence is the length of every step you take. So when you learn how to move your feet using different kinds of muscles, different muscles in your body, and it can make very, very big difference. So, for example, you can move faster, you can move changing to some other maybe tendons, muscles. You can move faster, or depending on the time, depending on the need, or you can move more effortlessly, or maybe you can move more stable through some difficult terrain, right? So so basically, if you shift to the shorter cadence, it will be less energy expensive. For example, it will save you energy. It will allow you to recharge in the process. It will allow you to warm up the whole body before you start exerting, and the exerting will exerting the energy. Will become natural, and that's what the whole thing is about. So sometimes, the runners, they talk about performance, they talk about effectiveness, and they say to run from the hip. They are big working muscles, but over a long distance, they can be they can become stuck somehow, kind of hammered in, and when you run overcoming the pain. It's not fun, right? It's not fun. It's not nice. So, so when you find out about the cadence, then you find out that you can actually switch between different muscle groups in order to get less tired, in order to run a little bit longer, or in order to enjoy the run a little bit more. So that's the basically about effectiveness and about flexibility also. Okay, and about the dynamics. And over time, we can also transfer this principle to our work, to our life. For example, you can afford to postpone a difficult task for a while if you feel that you're not progressing. For example, right? So the cadence is a great one. And next one, let's talk about the focus. We have three interesting things. Number 2 is about the focus. So what is it about? Well, if you find yourself working with a task for 5 or 10 hours, or maybe 20 hours, without much progress, then it's not about the time, guys. So here, the concept of focus. What is the focus? The focus, if we change the focus, sometimes we can break through to some solutions that are very different than what we were working with for 5, 10, or 20 hours. And that's the whole idea. And very often we have to shift to doing something very, very different for our ideas to break through and to revolutionize our day, right? Because we both think long-term and also short-term. So how do we get this breakthrough idea? Well, what I do very often, I say to myself, if I feel that I'm kind of procrastinating, and because I cannot take myself, collect myself together in order to do a complicated task, what do? I shift the focus. For example, I take a walk, I take a jog, I can go to the shower, I can maybe get, if I'm tired, I get 20-25 minutes nap. So it seems like, you're doing something else. You are not working directly with the task, but your brain continues to work on the task in the background. So, and you need to disconnect a little bit from your current workflow to kind of let your thoughts become free. And in this regard, running is one of the best physical activities, because when we talk about running, we're always connecting the dots of good structure, position of the head, position of the tongue, and then the relaxation comes, relaxation of 5 pair of muscles around the eyes, and the muscles of the jaw and the shoulders, and then connecting to the belly, and all of those things, how you watch, all of those things connecting together, they are really great. So running is fantastic. The brain gets saturated with oxygen. The pictures, when you, for example, run, you kind of change, the scenery change, and so do thoughts also. So your thoughts can be much more effective. Your thinking activity can be much more effective on the run. Okay? So, and it's not that, we're talking about paradigm shift from target-oriented to process-oriented. But target-oriented is also great. We can also shift the focus, for example, to write a little plan. It's also possible. A very, very little short-term plan. That's what you can give yourself, a little, very, very little task to think about the planning on the run. Very, very often, my thoughts are coming to me on the jogs, on the walks, in the shower, in sleep. So that's kind of not directly working on the problem, but kind of shifting the focus, right? And another thing I want to mention here when we are talking about efficiency, that's, through shifting attention and through defocusing also. And also the concept of flow. And that's about catching the wave, riding the wave, entering the flow state to enjoy what you're doing. And this is a concept that was popularized by Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, the man with unpronounceable name. And how do you remember this name? Csikszentmihalyi. Chick, kind of a nice chick, sent me, Hai-i. Csikszentmihalyi. So, Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. And his concept is the concept of flow. So the activities that develop in a flow state, and the activities that we allow to develop in a flow state, they bring us pleasure, they bring us energy, and that becomes a trouble-free process. That becomes, with time, it becomes effortless mastery. Effortless mastery. That's another actually good book called Effortless Mastery by a very good jazz piano player, actually. It's also about flow state and about emerging as a musician or a human being effortlessly through life. That's a great one. Basically, Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, he's saying that you can enter a state of flow when you perform a task somehow on the verge a little bit of your capabilities. The capabilities doing something that you love. On one hand, you have the potential to realize these capabilities because you've been basically working on it for a period of time. So it's kind of natural for you. so you're ready to realize it, right? And on the other hand, it requires some effort. It's a little bit, it's not like completely easy. So you are working on it. So when you can do it, you're working on it. The process becomes natural, dynamic, and it becomes, you enter the state of flow. You are riding the wave somehow, and you can do it in different states. You can learn doing it in tennis. You can learn doing it in music, but also, you see, running is a very good one because it teaches you to experience the state of flow. You kind of catch the rhythm. You turn on your physics, and you run not because you have to, but because you can, and because you love it. And that's an interesting thing here, because there's nobody that is pushing you. It's a little bit tricky for many people to stop controlling yourself, and that's why we need the concept of pacing, the concept of cadence, the concept of shifting focus are very crucial here to enter the state of flow. But somehow, you doing what you're doing, it becomes natural because you're doing it with small steps. You letting your body warm up so it can transport oxygen. Red blood cells can transport oxygen more freely, and they can also give the oxygen molecules away to the cells more easily. And that's because you allow for the time, you give time to your body to warm up a half a degree, where it's easier. So the concept of timing is also here. So, but you have to win the flow back from the brain, because the brain will always tell you, for example, it can tell you, no, I don't want to, I'm sitting here on the sofa, it's so nice, I don't want to strain, I don't want to work on movements, I don't want to enable muscles, just let me be alone. So, or you can stay in bed a little bit longer. But you have to deceive your brain. You have to say, and that's the Kaizen concept. Remember, you have to say, no. You just have to. You are lying on the sofa. You just say, no. You just have to sit on the sofa, and that's easy. You sit on the sofa, so you deceive your brain. You say it's a very, very little task. It's so little that the fear is not being triggered. And then you say you're sitting on the sofa. You say you just have to stand up, and you stand up. That's very easy. And then you say, okay, you just go to the door, and when you are at the door, you can see your sandals or your running shoes. You take on the shoes, and when you step outside, that's in this moment you know that you are going to do it. And now you say, okay, we are going to do it on a very low cadence with a very low level of exertion. And here you have to be ready to do something very smart. You have to actually, when you start running, you have to start running slower yet than your body tells you to do. So always take the cadence that is very, very slow and short. And yes, you will be overtaken by some other runners that are trained. Maybe they're younger, and maybe they just don't know about the concept of cadence. So, but stop relating yourself to them. It doesn't matter. You are doing something totally different, and you know the task. And the task is what I'm telling you: to enjoy what you're doing, to experience the flow. That's the task. So in this way, it's going to be easy, and then you can see the nice tree over there, and you say to yourself, okay, I'm running until this tree, and then you maybe take another tree. I actually don't choose trees normally. I just sense my belly, and I just relax, and I sense my belly shaking. That's kind of my meditation, running meditation, sensing my belly shaking, watching straight forward, and choosing a very slow cadence. And then when your body is warmed up, your body will choose to run, maybe to jog a little bit faster, and maybe a little bit faster, and maybe not. And maybe if you're tired, your body will tell you stop, and you stop. Because there's nobody's controlling you, you are enjoying it. That's the thing. And do not kind of take big decisions like running 10 kilometers or whatever, or 5 kilometers, or even 2. Just choose a very slow cadence and be ready for the movement, and the body will make this decision to run a little bit faster when it's ready. So allow your body to decide for you, for yourself. And that's the state. That's basically about riding the wave. That's getting into the flow state. That's the state when the brain does not resist, and you just run, feeling your body, sensing your body, experiencing a surge of joy, and you spend the energy gradually. That's the state of flow. And that's also, we're talking about energy coefficient, has to be closer to 1. So basically very little of the energy that you have in your body is spent to warm up the environment for nothing. No, it's spent to move you. Okay, it's spent for all the processes in your body that are crucial right now. That's energy coefficient, closer to 1. So you don't spill the energy for nothing. When you run it when you learn it from the start in the running, during the running, you will also experience a surge of joy when you're doing your daily work, what you have to do somehow. You can catch it in life also. And the more you practice it, the more you remember to practice it, the more you can implement it in your work. And the brain remembers what it's like to work in the state that is as nice, as active, as flowing as possible. So that's the thing, guys, and I'm sending you a lot of hearts here. And remember to send the hearts to everybody you are meeting on your way. It's crucial. Love, that's all we have. And that's also all we need, actually. And remember, today we are meeting on a Q&A. It's 1 o'clock European time. I'm in Copenhagen. So 1 p.m. Copenhagen. I saw that you have formulated some very, very nice question. And Janet, thank you for publishing the file during the weekend. So it was really great. On Friday already. So guys, we are ready to enter into our daily routines, to enjoy the flow, to catch and to ride the wave. Love you guys.